Give me just a moment and make sure we're good. All right, folks, welcome to our weekly Clay County Sports Coaches Show. I'm Alan Tanner, and I have a special guest host tonight, AD Sean Krajewski. And sitting right between us, we have cheerleading coach Sarah Williams, which we're going to talk to here in just a few moments. But first, to kind of get you set up, we have an exciting week this week. We got lots coming up, and we got lots to tell you. So make sure you stick around because we got a ton of information as regular season sports kicks off and we're through the scrimmages and through all the practices. So we're really excited. Again, I'm Alan Tanner along with AD Sean Krajewski, and we got a host of guests. But first up with us, we have cheerleading coach Sarah Williams. And Sarah, first of all, thanks for taking time out of your evening. I know you're super busy. We appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
So we're going to just talk a little bit here, and I know that you're a former cheerleader and you've coached some at different levels. But correct me if I'm wrong. This is your first year as the high school head coach. Is that right?
That's right.
So just tell us, what's it been like?
Learning curve. I've only coached younger girls, so hospital level's been a little different, but we're making it.
I know that I've been up there. You guys practice in the auxiliary gym, right?
Yep.
Practicing every day. And just like you guys start in the summer too, just like all these other fall sports. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you guys practice in the auxiliary gym. I know the girls are putting a ton of work into it. Or do you get the feeling that they're excited for the season?
I do. We have a lot of new cheerleaders this year. Some that have never cheered before at all. So we've been trying to get all our sideline cheers good to go for the football games, and then we really hardcore started practice this week too.
So you mentioned it and you talked about the sideline cheers and things like that. We'll get to that in a minute, but I want to talk about something specific here because last year I learned something about cheerleading. Um, I went to a competition, and this was my first experience at a cheer competition. And I'm going to tell you right now, fans, if you're out there watching, if you've never been to one, you really don't know what you're getting into when you walk into one of those things. The atmosphere is real.
Intense.
Intense is a better word. Absolutely. It's very intense. I went over to Roane County and I believe it was the LKC competition. And wow, my head hurt coming out of there. It was loud. It was crazy. There was lots of screaming, tons of action on the floor. Are you guys going to be participating in any of those competitions this year?
LKC's and regional. Yeah, that's what we're prepping for it.
Do we? We may not have dates for those. Is that right at this point?
November.
Okay.
Sometime.
So we'll keep you updated, but I plan to be there. And I know if we could, I don't know if we can get our equipment over there and put that out, but we would love to do so. And that's something we'll talk with Coach U about that and maybe figuring out how to do that because we want to broadcast this thing. But if you haven't ever been to one of these competitions, um, how do you? I know you've been a cheerleader before, but never coached at this level. Um, that's some pressure.
It is. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on the girls. Um, but we have professional choreographers that have come in and have broke things down for, especially the girls that haven't done them before. Um,
So
we'll
that's
see
an
what happens.
absolutely well. That's an interesting piece. You mentioned professional choreographers,
Yeah.
and I think I knew that, but just didn't realize it. It didn't click. Um, what's that like?
Again, intense. They know their stuff. They travel. He came from Vegas
Oh
to
wow,
choreo. Yeah, to
wow,
choreo our routine. Um,
that's impressive.
yeah.
So these girls are working hard, and I imagine it's pretty stressful for them in these practices too, as well. Um, so about our team, I don't even know if I know who all's on the team. Are they a lot of seniors, a lot of underclassmen? What we got?
We have two seniors. One's on comp, and one is just sideline cheer, and a lot of sophomores and juniors. We have no freshmen this season.
Okay. So a lot of younger girls.
Hmm.
Maybe they're kind of learning along with you,
They
I
are.
guess. So
They are.
now I understand you do have. It's not just you. You have an assistant coach, Caitlin
Caitlin
Parker.
Parker.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Good. And I'm sure she cheered as well and has some experience coaching at the high school level. Maybe not cheerleading. So has that been a help?
Yes.
Okay.
She and teaches here, so she knows
Yes.
the dynamics of teenagers a lot better than we do.
Well, she's here watching kind of in the studio with us here, so we wanted to give her a shout out. So, okay, well, I know you're super busy, and I don't want to keep you all evening, but I wanted fans to kind of get an idea of who you were and what to expect. Now, one last thing. So you guys cheer at football games, and I understand you probably even travel. Are you going to be there this Friday?
We will. We're going to be there. We have a lot of um, plans this season to interact with the fans as well as normal
Well,
sideline stuff you see
people
at
love
every
that.
game.
Absolutely. And I know as a fan, you love it because everybody gets riled up, but also as a player, that really helps. And I know Coach Case coached football and he's officiated football. And when those cheerleaders have those fans going, it creates an atmosphere. Am I right? So that's really awesome. Well, listen, I know you're busy and I know you got a lot of things going on. You're just coming from practice,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep. We just
So
got out.
awesome. We won't keep you here all evening, but I wanted to say thank you again for coming on. We appreciate it. And when you get dates for tournaments and things, please let us know. And again, we will try to broadcast some of those.
I think the girls would like that for
Absolutely.
recognition.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate it again, and we won't keep you here, but thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
And feel free to join us anytime. All right. Well, folks, there you have it. That was Coach Sarah Williams and telling us about a little bit about cheerleading. And again, if you haven't got the chance to go to a competition, make sure that you do because it's awesome. You'll love it. You've never been to something like this. I promise you that. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break, and I believe, Coach, do we have cross country coach?
Yeah, let's bring Matt Stricker up next.
All right. Well, let me now. My co-host Dylan, he's at home tonight. Dill, I know you're watching. We're going to do the best we can, but we can't run this thing like you do. But we're going to try. We're going to go to a quick break. Let you hear from Clay County Schools, which is our sponsor for WVRC Clay County Sports, and we will be right back. Now we're off. Good job.
Yeah.
It was good.
How easy was that?
That's miserable.
What time will be back next week?
No.
You did great.
We'll let you talk about your sideline performance next week. Well, she can critique it and let me know.
Hey, how's this look for times and stuff for ours? I ain't sending out to anybody. I just wanted to make sure with you first, see if that looks good. We can start early if everybody's there. I mean, if everybody's there.
Sponsor you?
And Ron, he said he was trying to get one, but I think his mom said we could probably get one if we have to.
All right, we are back. We hope you enjoyed that commercial. And if you've watched any of our lives, you've seen that commercial quite a lot. However, very soon, actually by tomorrow, we have a ton of local sponsors that are sponsoring this, along with Clay County Schools, and we will have some commercials for them as well. So stay tuned. But again, we appreciate Clay County Schools for sponsoring this for us, and we know you enjoy that commercial made by very own Jeffrey Crockless. So, Jeff, if you're out there watching, we'll give you a shout out too. So, all right, we're back, and we have the not infamous. I about said infamous. That's not good. The famous Coach Stricker, and we've been trying to get Coach Stricker here, and he is one busy man. But we are excited that you are here, Coach. Thanks for coming in.
Glad to be here.
I know you're really busy, and I know you just got off practice too, so
Yes.
it's been a long day. Um, in case you don't know, Matt is the coach of the cross country team, and I think
All of the cross country teams.
all yeah, and he means all of them, all four, right?
Yes,
Boys
all
and girls at both levels.
Yep, middle school and high school, but
Any student athlete that runs, Coach Stricker is the coach.
I've
Yes.
got them.
Now we talked a little bit about this last week.
Yeah.
But these kids run 3.1 miles.
3.11 is what the high school runs, and the middle school runs 1.87 miles. So the high school runs a 5K, and middle school runs 3K.
Wow. Well, we've already figured out that me and Dylan and Sean couldn't run 3.1 if we added our distances together. So it's been a little bit rough.
I do run with them, but I cannot keep up with them. I just make sure that I'm around in case someone needs me or if somebody has an accident. I'm always out with them, but they all outrun me every time.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, okay, so here's what we want to know. You guys actually have you had a meet already this year?
Yes, we had one last Saturday. We had the Riverside, first ever Riverside High School Cornfield Crawl Invitational.
Cornfield Crawl Invitational.
Yep, they had to meet right around the big cornfield in between Riverside High School and the Walmart down there. So they ran a couple laps around it and finished over there right in front of the high school.
So how did we do?
We did really good. There was many teams there, but there were 7 full teams. We had one of the only full teams out of the high school rank. We finished 4th out of the 7 that had teams, but 2 of the teams are Woodrow Wilson and George Washington. They're AAA or Quad A, whichever ones they are now. So they're a lot bigger than we are.
Okay.
We beat the only team that from our region that had a full team was Scott, and we beat them by 3 points.
Nice.
And that's what there was 3 teams from our region there. The other 2 teams didn't have full teams, so they still had runners, but they couldn't score team points.
So forgive me for my lack of knowledge here. What constitutes a full team?
You have to have at least 5 runners to score team points.
Okay.
If you want to see the scores right there,
Okay.
you have to have at least 5. You can have up to 7 that score, but if you have less than 5, you can't score team points. They can still score individually, but they can't score on a team.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So, and I see where for fans that can't see this out there, it's got like looks like the top 7 teams. We are 4th. Is that right?
Yep.
Behind 3 much bigger schools than us.
Yes.
There's some highlighted names on here. I want you to tell us who those kids are,
Okay.
and also what they did. Where's that at?
Well, Caden Fitzwater was our first finisher for the boys. He finished 22 overall, but on team he scored 16. He's
Okay.
the 16th fastest runner that was from a team. He ran 21 minutes, 22 seconds, .7.
21 minutes, and you're in 3 miles.
Yeah. Yep, and the better fact right there, all of our runners finished at an average pace of 22:45. So if Caden finished 21:22, everybody was right there together, and that's what we want to try. We want to try to get everybody there in a group.
And I'm looking down through here, and before you go to the next one, it's got the runners listed in their times, and every one of these, like you're talking within, uh,
Milliseconds.
yeah, like it looks like kids are finishing neck and neck. Is
They,
that how it goes?
oh yeah, and Caden's got one of the best finishes. If he's even close at the end, he can kick it in, and he's got that 800 speed from track. He can kick it in and pass people up at the end.
Okay.
Coach Stricker, let me ask you this: about how many individuals ran?
For the boys, there were 74 runners.
So Caden finished 21st or 22nd out of 74.
Yes.
That's pretty good. That really and truthfully is.
And if you look down the list, most of those are George Washington and Woodrow Wilson.
Some of your bigger schools.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who's second here?
We had Andrew Tanner was second on the team. He finished 31st overall, but 22 spot in the scoring
He
part.
must have good genes. I don't know where he got that from.
Yep. Also, we had 5 total runners. Brett Smith, the freshman, he came in at 22:33. He was 36th place overall, 25th in scoring points. Evan Bass was right behind him, 22:47, and you can see there's only 14 seconds in between our 2 runners right there.
Yes.
But still 2 other runners, so that's where you got to knock off people as best you can at the end of the race. We also had Isaiah Woods. He finished 47th and 33 in points overall.
Wow.
He's one of our 10th graders. We've got more runners, but 3 of them are on the football team, and they had a scrimmage Friday, and I didn't want to make them go Friday night to the football game and then turn around and go Saturday morning and run a hard race.
So we have athletes that are out there playing football, and then on the weekend after playing, they're running 3 miles in a competition.
Yes.
Wow.
2 of them are my son, and then Andrew Tanner was there. He's mostly JV, so he said I want to still come and run. So I said, buddy, if you want to come run, you come on and run.
I don't know where they get that from.
All right, so let me ask you this, Coach Stricker. What would be? I talked a little bit about this, but I may not have been right about everything.
Uh-huh.
What would be the individual's goals for this coming race this Saturday?
For this
What would they be looking at? I know we want to finish up as high as a team, and I get that, but
Yes.
what are they looking at individually? What do they want to accomplish this coming week?
This weekend is the Cabell Midland XC Fest, and that's where the state meet's held. So the reason we want to go to this one is so they get a real shot of seeing what the state meet course is. But they always want to beat their PR. They want to beat their best time.
PR personal record, right?
Personal record.
I did
yes.
learn that. Yes.
Every one of them, that's what their goal is every time. And you know, I want them to finish high, but we want them to improve every week. And every course is not the same, so you can't really go by a flat course compared to a hilly course. But they always want to try to get that time. They always want to try to get that PR every time.
Okay. Um, I'm sitting here thinking, and I know you got more names. We
Oh
want
yeah,
to talk about them, but I have some questions, and I know if people are watching, they're going to have these same questions.
sure.
So we're talking about that they have a start point, and they got to try to get better
Yes.
throughout the year. How do you how do you get better? Like, what do you do? Just try to get in better shape, or how's that work?
Well, we have different workouts throughout the week. Our workout usually goes Monday. We have an hour-long run,
Okay,
and that's not really a fast pace because we want to try to get miles in. I mean, you
an
run for
hour long run.
we run on the trail at the Elk
Yeah.
River Trail. We
Okay.
run for 30 minutes out, and we turn right around and come right back to the bridge. So no one gets lost. No one's out there by themselves.
Right.
We're all right there on the trail together. Tuesdays is usually a tempo day. We do more speed workout. We do shorter runs, but we try to pick up the speed. We always have a hill day. Most of the times,
That sounds
that
tough.
that's the one.
Wednesdays.
That's the one the kids are always wanting to skip, the hill
Yes,
day.
I can understand.
But we actually went over to Buffalo Creek where our race is going to be today, and we ran our trail a little bit. So they got some hill workout over there, and
Okay.
so we didn't do hill repeats, but they got to run our course for the really the first time this year.
So
Let
it's
me,
not. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask you this. I think this is kind of the same line. I think I've heard you say this, and I said this last week, and if it's not right, I'll apologize to everybody. But do you have what you call like a warm-up mile or something like
Yes,
that?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We
The
joked about that.
infamous warm up
Yeah, the
mile.
infamous.
We always stretch for a little bit just to get everybody loosened up, and we either take off on a 10-minute warm up or a mile warm up, and that gets them going. And they're supposed to go slow. Now, sometimes the kids won't run the warm up mile faster than they do any of the rest of it, but you know, if they think that they can push themselves on the mile, then they can push themselves on the mile.
Wow.
And then we usually do some line drills just to get their legs loosened up before we actually take off on our workout
Well, there you have it. That's just not for me.
run.
Hmm. Okay, so we've heard from the boys. Now, who else did we have that was running at Riverside? And this can be middle school too,
Well,
because I would like to know who is out there running.
I only had two high school girls that could make it because a couple of them are injured.
Sure.
We've got Sophia Berbert. She's on the mend right now. She's got to take it easy until after September.
Okay.
And Cheyenne Taylor is a cheerleader too, and she rolled her ankle, and we didn't want to push her into this one. So
Sure.
we had two runners. We had Abigail Grandin and Ashley Roberts, and we couldn't score as a team, of course, because we only
Didn't
had
have a full
two.
team.
But Abigail did really good. She finished 24th overall. She had a time of 28 minutes and 48 seconds. And that's getting down to where she was already last year. And she was a state qualifier last year. And
Wow.
we had Cheyenne and Abigail both that made the state tournament last year as individuals. And it's really hard to make it it's easier to make it as a team because, you know, a lot of teams can't fill a full team,
Right.
but they made it as individuals, and we Ashley also ran that one, and she ran hers in 36 minutes and 46 seconds. She had a really good start, but she's got a little asthma problem, but she pulled it through and finished out really strong, and she had a really good start though. I mean, she took off faster than I've seen her probably run even in track season.
Well, I recognize those names too, and I like Abigail. We haven't talked to the band director yet, which we will.
Yeah.
But Abigail's in the band as well, right? So
Yes.
she's traveling a lot,
She's
and
also the field commander, so she's got so much on her plate. She gets out and runs with us when she can, and she got her practices in. But we have to split her time with band a lot,
okay.
and that's just fine
Wow.
because she does. She still gets right out there and gets it like every rest of them.
Is it? I assume kids will improve their time as the year goes. About everybody.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Everybody, because you know, once you ran several of the races, you've ran a hill race, you've ran a flat race, and then they can really tell where they can pick their times up at.
Okay. And then so at the end of the year, they're looking at their time and they're thinking, what do I got to do to get to the state tournament
Yes.
and the state meet? And that's where you're going this weekend.
We're going to the course that holds the state meet. Yes, it is
Okay.
the exact same course that they run if they make the state championship.
Okay. Wow. You got anything else before we move on? Do you have any middle school names?
I do have a couple middle schoolers.
Okay.
Now we don't have the full team on either one of the middle schoolers, but real quick, we got Gunnar Dobbins. He finished 21st overall with time of 14:27, and that's the 1.87 mile race. We also had Sam Hubbard. He finished in 16:09, and Holden Reed ran a 19:45, and that's Holden's first race ever in cross country. So
First race ever.
first race ever, and he beat out, I don't know, 12 or 13 people there.
So there's a lot of middle school names there I'm looking at.
Yep.
87 of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
on the boys team.
Okay.
And on the girls team, Marissa Atha, our little superstar, she finished third place and with a time of 14:23. So you could have thrown her into the boys race and she still would have probably scored some points.
14, what'd you say?
14:23.
Oh,
And that's
my.
how the shorter race though.
Yes,
The 3K.
the 3K.
Wow. 14:23.
Yep, and my daughter Danae, she ran it. She finished 31st, and she ran an 18:40. And we also had, let's see, must not have highlighted the last one. Where's she at?
Get
Oh,
over here.
oh yes, Tara Conley, right there. Tara Conley finished 52nd. She ran in 22:57.
I couldn't place in any of those. I'm just gonna tell you, middle school, it didn't matter what
Listen,
it
I
is.
get tired just being out there watching them and running around and hollering for them and getting them coaching tips while I'm out there. I probably end up running 3 or 4 miles just running around the course trying to give them some pointers while I'm out there.
So, I do have a question here about fans watching.
Yeah,
This is impressive, and I know that there's fans out there that will want to support these kids, maybe by coming to a race.
yes.
And I know we talked about this, Coach, maybe a week or so ago on the coaches show. What is can fans do? Can they see a race?
Well, I mean, it's really hard to watch a cross country race most places, but the one that we just went to Saturday was in a field, so you could see them just about the whole time.
Okay.
We've got the race coming up this Saturday, and then we're off all week next week. Then we've got some in the middle of the week races. We've got some close ones. We've got Calhoun coming up. We've got a race down at Coonskin Park against the Charleston Catholic kids and stuff like
Okay.
that. And I can give you a schedule and we'll see what we got here but they can come out any of them. We got our home race coming up September 30th.
That's what I was, Coach. I'll let you talk about that one there. So, home race.
Yes, so we didn't have it last year, brought it back this year. Excited as all get out to have it. September the 30th, Buffalo Creek is what we're calling it. They'll start over there at Dundon at the Little League baseball field, and they'll run and they'll start and they'll run 100 miles per hour. You won't get to see them, but for a split second, they head up, looks like a hill that nobody wants to be part of, and they're going for a while, and then they end up in crossing the Buffalo Creek. And Matt, how far is it about from the Buffalo Creek to the finish line? I said like 500 yards.
Well, by track or cross country standards, it's about a tenth of a mile.
Okay, whatever that number is, but anyway, they cross it and they're, especially if you've got a couple of kids that are close together, they're trying to get each other at the end, and you're like, how in the world do they have enough energy to even want to try to pass the next person? But like I said last week, it is really fun to watch. It's really fun to watch the faces and the expressions they make. And, you know, again, come out and support them. You can cheer them when they take off. You can cheer them. And I think one of the cool things is this is you can see kids when they cross the finish line and people that are there watching, whether they're from that school or not, they're
Yes.
clapping for them and they're cheering them. They know that they've just went through 3 miles of pain and they want them to finish and they're cheering for them. And then obviously if it's close, they're cheering for their team. But
Uh-huh.
it's and those kids, they work hard. Might
there
work
is
as
a
hard as any sport that we've got here at Clay County High School.
there is a camaraderie between
Yes.
runners, even from all schools, because they know what punishment that they went through to get there.
They appreciate the effort that those kids have went through.
That's for sure.
Do kids get to see like a lot of the same teams and maybe make even friends with some of those
Oh,
runners? And
like our kids hang out with the Calhoun kids all the time. We run with them. We go up and support them when they have their race every year, and They just get along just like they're
That
from part of our team.
that's a really cool part of that.
Yes.
And as opposed to maybe football or basketball where you see them twice a year, you're competing with these teams week in and week out.
Week in and week out. Yes.
Okay. Well, Coach, I appreciate it. I know you're a busy man, but
Thank
we
you for having me.
appreciate you coming on, and we'll have you back. Don't worry.
Oh, we'll have some results here coming soon.
So again, the next meet is Saturday at
Saturday
Cabell
at
Midland.
Capital Midland High School.
What time we starting?
That's a night race, so I think the middle
Okay.
school starts off at like 6 o'clock. The high school will probably run more toward 8:30, depending on how long the middle school races take.
I think that's one of the enamours of that is they get to run underneath the lights. And they like to do that, right?
They love it.
I want to say this too, real quick, 'cause it was on my mind as he was telling about the time. Most of these Saturday matches, I'm sorry, what do we call
Meets.
meets? I'm sorry.
Meets. Yeah.
Most of these Saturday meets they don't run at 6 o'clock in the evening. They run about 9 o'clock in the morning. These kids are catching the bus,
Six and 7 o'clock.
a.m. So they're getting up to do that. So factor that into just the running itself, and you've got some dedicated kids. You really do.
For sure.
Well, these kids deserve to be recognized, so that's why we wanted to bring their names up, and we will bring them back. So if you know any of these kids, make sure to tell them they're doing a great job because they definitely are. And
They
we
work their
wish
butts
them
off.
the best of luck on Saturday. And Coach, we appreciate you coming in. And it goes. Sometimes we don't say it enough. You got four teams. Remember, it's not
Four
just one
teams.
team. You got four groups of kids, high school and middle school, coming
Yep.
down here every evening to run 3 miles or 1.8 miles or
Sometimes we
a
put in
long
6 or 7
distance.
miles.
Yeah, to run that warm up mile.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So we appreciate what you do. This is awesome, folks. If you can support the cross country team, please do because they are some of the best athletes. Again, a lot of them are playing two sports. A lot of them are doing multiple things, and they're using their
Yes.
weekend to go out there and compete. And they're wearing that Clay County on their chest, on their jersey. So we appreciate it, Coach. We're going to take a quick break, but we thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back. Absolutely. We'll be right back after this.
Good job, Matt.
All
That's
right.
good. We talked a little long with you, but it's
Well,
been easy to talk with you.
Good to get those kids' names. Really appreciate
yes. I'll have a lot more because when we get all them other ones, the new ones, enough practices in. I got some middle school kids. I'll
Good.
finally have full team once I get them all practices. And a Toby Yeager. I don't know if I mean I haven't sent you his stuff because he just literally came yesterday.
Okay.
So I'll send you
All right,
his.
give me this stuff.
Yep.
All right, that's good.
I forgot to change the title on the thing. It says scrimmage at Shady Spring. Maybe we'll fix it later. Crap. That's all right. We'll talk about some of this stuff as he comes on. Does that sound good? All right, we are back, and we have one more guest tonight, and we have some very important information. Coach Nichols is with us again. Come on in, Coach. Yes, we are live. Come on in and grab a seat here. A thorn between two roses.
Is that how they go?
Yeah, I don't know. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. And how are you all?
Doing well. Just finished up with practice, I assume.
Yep, just walked in the door.
So we are going to talk about this upcoming week, but before we do so, I want to give a chance for Coach K to talk about a couple things here. We know we got a big week, and there's a lot of things that fans need to know that's going on. But Coach, first, tell us what's been going on this last week as AD, and what's happening out there.
Been, very quiet, peaceful, not a lot going on. No, I was, thought two words, hectic and stressful were the two words I come up with, nothing fancy. So obviously, I hope everyone knows, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this here. So we want to get the word out, make sure that as you hear this, you're passing the word out to family members and friends who plan on going to the game. We had to change the venue of the game because the field wasn't ready. We knew that might be a possibility. For 2 or 3 days, we searched high or low, to find a place to play, and finally found out Friday evening. I actually drove over to Spencer. I met with the AD and the principal, and Rome County said that they would be happy to host it. They're actually going to host a game Friday night, and they're actually hosting two games on Saturday. One that they're playing in, and then also hosting something else.
So we are going to Roane County for our home opener
Yes.
against Midland Trail. Fans, you heard it. Make sure, I know it's been out there on social media, but if there was any confusion, we're this Friday, is it still 7:30 start time?
Yes, it is.
7:30 start time, County Stadium over at Roane. We'll be on the home side this time. That might feel a little weird, won't it?
Yeah, let's cover that because I know I've gotten some texts, there's been some questions. So we are the home team. We will sit on the home side. Um, obviously our players will be on the home side, our cheerleaders will be on the home side, our fans will be on the home side. Our clock keeper's going to go over and run the clock. Our announcer's going over there. So it's just basically a home game, except we're going to be at Roane County. That'll be a little bit different, obviously.
Okay.
Also, the one thing I want to mention, a home game means that our event passes work.
Okay.
That we'll honor the event passes. Actually, Miss Dancy, who a lot of people know, works here at the high school as our ticket taker. Real good to help out. She'll be over there. So we're scanning event passes. The kids get in free. We hope to have a pit over there. We just want it to be just like home, except it's not exactly at home. Okay, so it's a home game at Roane County. So I would say this to the people listening around. I would come as early as possible. There is not a ton of parking at Roane County, so I would come early. Um, and secure a parking spot, even if you sat out there for a little while before you come into the game, but make sure you get there early.
So again, so yeah, we're home just like normal. Your event passes will work. That's awesome. We want to thank Roane County. I'm sure you've had to work closely with the AD administration.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I was going to do that later, but I can do
Oh,
it
I'm
now.
sorry.
No, that's okay. And honestly, I forget the principal's name, and I apologize about that. And I looked on the website before I got here, and I wasn't sure if that was it or not. So I don't want to speak any, but I know I spoke to the principal. And a big shout out to the AD Toby Ford. He has really, really helped me in this process, helped us in this process. He even said he'd be over there. He was going to help direct Midland Trail to where they were going to dress at. So
Okay.
he's been a big help through this process. And although it seems easy, finding a spot to play a football game on Friday night is not as easy as you think it
I
is.
can
So
imagine.
we were happy to be able to find this place. And I think besides the little curvy road on 36, it's close enough that we don't feel like we have to travel a long way with our home fans. And so probably this is probably the best destination we had. Maybe Herbert Hoover possibly, but anyway, we're settled, ready to go.
Well, and I'll to mention we will be there. WVRC. We'll be broadcasting live, and we're actually a little bit excited because our first regular season live broadcast will be right over there in Spencer, where WVRC is located. So all our tech guys will be right on hand and ready to go. We're excited. Now I know I have a question, and you two probably know more about this than me, but we'd like to have a home game on our turf right here at Bradley Field. When does it look like we might be able to have a home game? Anybody know?
Yeah, we're doing September the 19th. We're going to put
So
that
that's
out
our
there.
next home game.
That's our next home
Okay.
game. Of course, this
And-
week's at Roane. Then we have two regularly scheduled away games. Week 4, which is September the 19th, we're hoping. I spoke to Superintendent Mr. Dobbins today, and he feels confident that it's going to be done.
I may not have been supposed to ask that. Oops, my
No,
fault.
that's okay.
So
Actually, I'll talk a little bit about that real quick. I want
sure.
to just put this out there, and we're going to talk about it more in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so obviously we've got a lot of things planned for that night. We're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony somewhere along the way. We'll get more into that, and then also we're going to let all the alumni that's ever played football, been in the band, been a cheerleader, and even softball because they play down in that area forever. Any alumni can come in to the game for free. Obviously, if you want to scan your event pass, you're more than welcome
We'd
to do
like you
that. We
to.
would like for you to, but bring all your family members. So we want to recognize them. And then the thing that we want to do is we want to let all of our alumni go out on the field before the game, help with the tunnel with the kids of this year coming in, running in the first game, because we feel obviously like if it wasn't for all the players in the past, we wouldn't be where we were at today. So we want to make sure that we do that, and
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good time. I'm going to guess that the place will be absolutely packed. There won't be seats anywhere. So we're really excited about that.
It will be really awesome to see that. players from past and coaches and all those out there on the field get to take the first step out there. That's awesome. And coach, I'm going to ask you something here, and I'll come back to you, Coach A or Coach K. Are I know as fans we're excited, and the place is beautiful. By the way, if you haven't been down, take a look. Go down there and check it out. I know we released like a 3D aerial view. It's beautiful down there. Can you feel the excitement building from the kids,
The
the
kids,
players? I mean,
the kids are excited every day after practice. They want to go out and check it out on the deck. And of course, we actually had a kid that nearly missed the bus for activity bus because he was out on the deck and we're hollering, buses, buses, and he's out on the deck checking out the field, looking it over, and we're like, man, you got to go. So yeah, they're definitely excited about it. And
so that is terrific. So again, an update on the turf. If you're just joining us, we're hoping to play our next scheduled home game on the turf, and we'll update you if things change. But when I was down there last, I believe it there ain't a whole lot more to do. I know I'm sure some things that you don't see with the naked eye, but it's beautiful and it's coming together, and I am excited to see the Panthers out there on it. We'll talk football here in a minute, but I do have a couple last questions for you, Coach. Okay. So I know we talked to Matt. Is there anything else that happened last week besides cross country that maybe fans didn't know was happening?
Well, I don't think, of course, Coach Stricker gave us a good rundown on cross country. We did have a girls volleyball match at Nicholas County last night. They played Nicholas County and Charleston Catholic in what they call a tri match. They did lose to both of those teams, but we're also talking Charleston Catholic, who I believe were or no in the finals. I believe they were in
They
the
were down
finals,
there.
a single A.
Yeah.
And Nicholas County always had a strong program. So I don't think, obviously we talked before, they're young. Um, and, you get those. That wasn't an LKC, a conference game or anything like that. So you're just going to play those teams and, you're going to get better. So they do not play again until next Saturday. Wow. So they'll get a chance to practice and get ready for their next meet as far as that goes in next match. Coach Stricker told you he's going to Capital Midland. I think it's great just in the fact that they get to run the exact course that the state made.
Well,
So
absolutely.
that's a chance to figure out if it's hilly, if it's not hilly, like you talked about, flat, and so on. I wanted to mention one other thing before I finish in this, because I want to throw this out there, and I am as excited as I am about September the 19th. I'm just as excited about September the 26th, which will be our next home game after that. We are going to honor our only undefeated football team. Is that right, Coach? And that was year 2000.
Uh,
And I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say this, but this is the 25th 25-year anniversary of our undefeated team. And I hate to say that because it's like it's year 2000, and then someone says 25 years, and
yeah.
time goes by fast, that's for sure. But
Yes.
if anybody, and I think a lot of people out there listening, if they go to Tudors, when you first walk in, there's a picture of our undefeated team in the year 2000 on the left there. We're going to invite all of the team members and all the coaches back. We're going to honor them at halftime. We're going to announce each one of them, and I'm a little excited just talking about it. I think it's a really great thing. I think it's really good that it's happening in a year where there's a lot of things going on. So want to keep those two dates in mind, the 19th especially, but the 26th, because we're going to have a big event there as well.
Well, I can remember. Of course, I'm the young one here. I think, right? That'd be fair to say that.
I don't know. I don't know that that's saying a lot either, but go ahead.
I can remember being in elementary school during that season. Of course, I would come to the games, and um, I can remember thinking that team, and we've had a lot of great teams. There were some incredible kids on that team, and the fact that they went 10-0, and then when we ended up losing in the playoffs, I don't know, probably everybody in Clay felt this way, but I felt like I just lost my pet dog, or I mean, I was tore up in fourth grade. That was an awesome team, and it will be special to see those guys and on the new turf. So, what an incredible thing! And I don't know of any other team that has their picture in Tudors. That is like the pinnacle right there. Everyone goes to Tudors. So, Okay, so that is, and you mentioned some of the other things. I was going to ask you about upcoming events, but I think you got that taken care of. We got cross country Saturday. Volleyball is
Not until the
going
next Saturday.
next Saturday.
We'll
Okay.
actually have a football game again before we do volleyball.
Now I know they've got some volleyball has some home games coming up, maybe later in September.
Yeah, they're on the road here just a little bit early. Don't have the exact dates, but the week after, 9, 10, somewhere around in there, they're going to have a stretch of about 4 or 5 volleyball games in a row.
And we are going to be doing those. So make sure you tune in, WVRC. So, all right, we got that. Now I have some football questions here, Coach. You've had two scrimmages under your belt. We've been there to both of them. We actually live streamed the last one, and I thought just me, I'm not a coach. I thought the kids played well. They played hard. I think from my research, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sherman and Shady, those are the two teams we scrimmaged. They were pretty successful last year and had a lot of kids coming back. So, how do you feel now that we're getting ready to kick things off for real?
Well, as a coach, you
It's never good
often,
enough.
you're often wondering, or is what you're doing, good enough, and is what you're doing, are you prepared enough? And we felt good after the Sherman scrimmage. Like you said, Sherman's a good football team. We knew they were a good football team going into it, and they. I can't remember if they won one or two games in rounds in the playoffs last year. And then, Shady, a Triple A team, I'm pretty sure they were in playoffs
Yes, they were, for sure.
as well last year, and they have a lot coming back this year. And we said after the game, and not to take away anything from Shady, but we said that we played a C+ game and shut them out in a half. So
Yes.
we were more encouraged by the way we played against Sherman than we were against Shady, and some of that is, when you're scrimmaging, you're practicing.
Yeah.
You're not scouting, and you're not doing those things. You know, you're looking for, you're looking for the kids to adjust on the fly, and we didn't do as well with that against Shady as we did against Sherman. So.
Well, and I'm sure those stands, as Coach K, you mentioned, those stands are going to be packed on Friday night. We got two nights to go before we finally get to Friday night. And our quarterback, we mentioned, we've lost a 4 year starter at quarterback, but we got Cooper Collins, younger brother of Noah, who has stepped in. Um, when I watch it, and I think when fans will feel the same way when they watch these scrimmages, if they haven't already, you don't see a ton of change in the offense as far as we're still throwing it down the field. We still got athletes out there catching it. How has the adjustment been from losing a guy like Noah to other guys stepping in?
Well, like you said, we have a scheme that an offensive system that we've been running, and Coach K has been running at the middle school, developing that. Cooper, although he's new to varsity action, Cooper ran that for 2 or 3 years at the middle school. I'm not sure, did he start as a sixth grader?
No.
Seventh and
Seventh
eighth.
and eighth.
So, and then he played a couple games at JV last year. So, he's not new to the system. He's definitely not new to the terminology. I'm sure he's heard it at his home. So, it's while he's new to varsity action, he's been around the system. So we feel comfortable with Cooper. There's things were that Noah was doing that Cooper's not doing, but there's also things that Cooper's doing that Noah didn't do. We're running the ball a little more than we have in the past, and I think we knew that was going to happen. And I think that even if Noah was back, we knew that was going to happen. We last year we broke in. I believe it was four, if not five. It was four offensive linemen, and so in that
Yeah.
situation, you want to let your quarterback lead.
Yes.
This year, we have five offensive linemen returning, and so now you want to let your offensive line lead. So,
Yes.
so that's why you're going to see probably a little more emphasis on the run.
Well, we know the names that we're going to hear on Fridays. We know the Jacoby Nichols, the Joe Elliott's, the Cohen Ramseys, the Blake Colemans, the Brody Scarboroughs, and of course those five offensive linemen. We're going to see plenty of those guys, and you're going to see those on Metro News. But I want to talk just a minute before we run out of time here about the younger guys that remember last year we had a middle school team and Coach K coached those guys and they won a championship against a Braxton team that had beat them. Is that correct?
Yes.
And they were at a board meeting, and that was an incredible season and an incredible finish to a season. And now those kids are in ninth grade. We were able to live stream some JV action, and I think those are some pretty good football players out there. Tell us a little bit if you can, and if Coach Collins, if you're watching, we're not going to give away any scheme. I promise. I promised myself I wouldn't do that. But tell us about the young guys, and of course we're going to stream some JV games as well. And it's I know just from knowing you, it's important to get those kids 10 games as well when possible. What are those younger guys doing, and how impressed have you been with them so far?
But young guys are working hard every day. Right now, we're in that little window of time where we're short on practice time with the traveling to
Sure.
Mesa and back. So this week, the younger guys have had not as much, JV specific time of practice, but before this week, they've really been able to have a lot of, individual. This is, you know, um, whether it's second team offense or JV offense or whatever. But we have some JV guys or some young guys, whether they're JV or not. We got some freshmen that's going to play some. That's going to play some varsity action. Whether it's Adam Canfield, whether it's Tyler Bird, whether it's Canaan Payton, or talking about a quarterback, John Paxton. He stepped in for you guys last year and led the middle school to a championship, and I believe that was his first year
Yes.
starting last year. And he's come a long way. He even since the beginning of the summer to now, and we didn't do a ton over the summer because of the field situation. And he's just come in and really just hit the ground running, and we like what he's been able to do. And I don't want to leave anybody out, because
Right.
you're sitting here trying to think of names, whether it's Colin Elliott, and
Yeah.
Colin Elliott, Colin's going to be a big part of what we're doing, offensively and defensively. So we got some talent on the younger guys for sure.
Well,
I
I
can see
noticed
why
that,
they
and
I can see why they won the championship. There's no doubt.
well, and I think those kids, what I kind of caught from watching them a few games at the end of the season and then the championship is they have some grit. It's been real easy for them. And Coach K, you can speak to this, but going up against a team on the road that you had got beat by already twice, and then come out and I don't, if I remember correctly, we didn't just win, we put it on them.
Well, we did, but we also fell behind 20-6 to begin with.
Oh, I do remember that now. What a crazy start.
Yeah, and it could have been
Yeah,
it could have been, let's call it a season, go home.
just
And
another part of those kids.
into those players benefit, they didn't, and the next thing you know, it's 20-20 at halftime, and go out the first quarter, we were by far better.
And and again, fans, those are those kids that are going to be playing on Monday nights, and they're going to be playing on the turf too. They got the Panther on the side of their helmet, and if you like football, come out and watch those games because they're entertaining.
Yep.
Usually a lot of close games, and you get to see names that. And some of those kids, you're right, they play on Fridays, and you may not hear their name because maybe they didn't make the big play, but they're out there throwing a block in a key moment to spring a Jacoby Nichols or a Joel Elliott for a touchdown. And so they're playing on Monday nights too. Um, very, very impressive. Well, um, anything else before Friday that you want fans to know? Because, of course, we're going to have a lot of people traveling over there. Just kind of what you're expecting on Friday.
Well, we expect to come out and play hard. We've had a really good week of practice. We and
Good.
and and you hate to say that, because sometimes when you say things like that, then it may not show what I don't know how Friday's going to go, but we've come back to the locker room when the kids leave and you sit down and you have a chance to, catch your breath and talk to the coaches for a minute, and we're just like, like today to talk about the young guys. The young guys may have gotten a little better of the varsity a little bit today in practice, because um, and because of the intensity that we're asking them to bring,
Yeah.
and the varsity sometimes needs to be ready every day to bring the intensity, and the young guys are bringing it out on them, and that's what you want. And I think that because you're able to have those types of practices, I think that that's going to it has to be able to help you
Yes.
on Friday night. I mean, and I think that the kids are excited, they're ready to go. They obviously would love to be able to get out there on the turf, but it is what it is, and we're ready to um, embrace that whenever the time is right, and we know that all effort was put into getting that right, ready to go. But one thing that I want everybody to know about this Friday that this Friday's game was never intended to be a home game to begin with.
Right.
This Friday's game was intended to. That's why there's 5 other home games on the schedule.
Yeah.
This Friday's game was intended to be, although it is a home game, it was supposed to be a neutral site game at Glenville. And the reason it was a home game, but it was a home game at Glenville, and and then there's 5 other home games. And the reason that we're not at Glenville is because Glenville's also doing field renovations, and their field's not ready. So
We just can't find a place to play.
yeah,
Parking
so
lot. We play in the parking lot, maybe.
so and that's the thing about us in the last, and maybe it's about me in the last 10 years, the adversity that we've had, whether it's been floods or COVID or field renovations. It seems like every time we turn around, something's going on, and we learn to adjust on the fly, and I think our kids learn to adjust on the fly. And I like the week that they've had. I don't know how the results going to be, but I like the week they've had, and I like the week of preparation that they've put in and the intensity, and I'm excited to go Friday night.
Well, and you mentioned it, Midland Trail, we play at Roane County, and it doesn't matter the difference in teams. It seems like when we play Midland Trail, of course, a lot of kids know each other. It's always a battle. It's always a battle. And it's probably, I'm assuming it's going to be that way Friday night as well. But you're right in the fact that our kids know how to come back from adversity. And that's not to say anything about Midland Trail, but our kids have seen it. They've been down and they continue to fight. And that's what we love about them. It's a skill you may learn in football, but you'll use for the rest of your life.
Sure.
So we are excited about that. Well, again, fans, don't forget, before we run out of time here, I want to make sure everybody knows Friday night at Midland Trail. We'll be ready to go game time 7:30. WVRC will be on the air right about 7 o'clock. So we're excited for that, and we're going to take one last break. Do you have anything else before we go on a break?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The young guys we've been talking about,
Yes.
they play on Tuesday at Midland Trail in the JV game,
Okay.
and that game's a 6:30
6:30.
start.
Yeah, sorry about that. JV does go to Midland Trail on
Okay.
Tuesday because Monday is holiday. They'll travel Tuesday, go Midland Trail, play JV game at 6:30.
All right. Well, Dill, I know you're out there watching for sure, and maybe we can get over there and do that game for those kids. So we'll do that. We're going to take one last break, and then we're going to come back. And when we do so, we're going to do some closing remarks and give you all the things you need to know before Friday night. All right.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy this commercial.
Is it the same?
Yeah, we get new ones.
Well, we are back, and I apologize. I know that our stuff isn't working exactly how it's supposed to. That's what happens when you depend on somebody else and you don't learn it yourself sometimes. So, Dylan, I know that you're at home taking notes. I'm sorry. I just didn't know exactly what to push. So, we'll get there. And, Swolby, if you're watching, yeah, I know you're shaking your head right now like I've told them what to do. So, I don't know if we have sound on the commercial or not. Hopefully, we get our mics off. But, anyways, we come to another end of a pretty awesome coaches show, I think. And Coach, I'm going to turn it over to you to give us some last thoughts before we end the evening.
Okay, I just wanted to say a couple things, especially maybe from the administrative side. First of all, I want to thank, and I mentioned it earlier, I want to thank Roane County Board of Education, Roane County Superintendent, um, Mrs. Hunt. She is the principal. She's been working with us before the athletic director from Roane County High School for giving us the opportunity and giving us a chance to come over there to their place on Friday night and be able to hold our game. Um, Also want to thank a few people real quick, Jeffrey Proclus, Jenny Burkhammer, um, Miss Dancy. They're all going over to work with, help me out on Friday night so that everything can run nice and smooth.
Yeah.
So if people knew all the work that it took,
Yeah.
they would appreciate it maybe a little bit
Yeah.
more, but it is a lot of behind the scenes. But anyway, so that everybody can just walk in, grab their seat, root for the Panthers. The last thing I want to do is this. I don't do this too often, but I'm going to do this. I am going to challenge our Panther fans
Okay.
to show up in droves on Friday night. And
Absolutely.
my idea was that I want there to be more Clay County High School Panther fans there on Friday night than there will be actually Roane County Raider fans on Saturday night, which will be their home game at their home stadium.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it. We drive 15, 20, 30 minutes to get to Clay. Most of us do anyway. Another 20, 25 minutes to get over to Spencer. It's not going to hurt anybody. They have a lot more places to eat than we do. Over there, get yourself something to eat to begin with. Maybe Spencer Chamber of Commerce will hire me for something. But go over and
Yes.
get something to eat. Go to the ball game and root for the Panthers. I think it's going to be a really good ball game. And glad we get to play it. And go Panthers.
Absolutely. And I'll just add a little tidbit to that. These kids have been in school all week, and you see these athletes walking up and down the halls, and a lot of them are in AP classes and doing all these things, and they're still at practice every evening. And there's nothing like, and if you've played any kind of sport, you know this and you can attest to this. There is nothing like going out there 5 minutes before game time and those stands are full. Whether it be football, basketball, cheerleading, cross. When you see that blue and gold and those people supporting you, it just does something to you. You get a little less tired, you get a little more energy, and it's just an awesome thing. So those kids deserve it. So Friday night, at Roane County, County Stadium. We will be live, WVRC Clay County Sports, on YouTube and hopefully on Facebook as well. Dylan will be back with us, and we're going to go over there and hopefully get an opening win and then return there in a couple weeks and face a Roane County team.
Yeah, we'll be home team this week, and 2 weeks later we'll be the visiting team.
Yeah, let's bring the same amount of people Friday as we do 2 weeks from now. So, folks, we appreciate it. Glad you tuned in. You'll have to forgive me. I'm running the computer here, and that's not usually what I do. So hopefully I did it justice, and we appreciate you tuning in and watching. We thank you for supporting us. If you haven't done it, please go to YouTube and hit subscribe. Now, make sure you tune in. We've just had one commercial we went live 4 or 5 times, and I know everyone's seen the Clay County Schools commercial, but we want you to know that this is sponsored by Clay County Schools, so we appreciate that. We have a lot of other local sponsors, and I can't even name them all, but we're going to have commercials for those businesses and people that are supporting this as well. So it's not just the school system that's supporting our kids, but a lot of local businesses, a lot of people putting money right back into the kids, which is the future of this county. So we appreciate that. We're excited. We're ready to go, and we hope to see you on Friday night, Roane County, 7:30 kickoff. Make sure you're there. Thanks to all the folks again. I'll mention that has helped and is going over to work the game. Thanks to Roane County. Thank you to the administrators and the people, the AD, Toby Ford, and all those for putting in the work and allowing us to use their field. And also thanks to Drew Miller and Swolby. I know you guys have helped us a ton. So we're excited. Any last thoughts?
Nope.
All right,
Get ready for
folks,
Friday night.
we appreciate it. Go Panthers, and we will